Welcome to Mystery Shopper Orientation. Since 1994, companies have benefited from JB Communications employee shopping and training. Conscientious businesses recognize that mystery shoppers are an important asset to encourage employees to maintain their training and skills so they can deliver exceptional service. Shoppers are assigned to anonymously call or visit a business and evaluate the experience. A mystery shopping program measures the employee performance, identifies company strengths and weaknesses, and rewards exceptional employees. The focus of this orientation is bank shopping. Because most financial institutions offer the same types of products, it is the employees and the way they service customers that stands them apart from the rest. JBC primarily shops 3 different areas of banking: call centers, new account or customer service representatives, and tellers. This orientation will review shopper criteria, shop types, assignments, and question clarification. Before we get started on different types of shops, as a shopper you must meet some important criteria. Anonymity. You must remain anonymous. Once an employee identifies you as a shopper, or even if you have a personal relationship with a shopped employee, you can no longer serve as a shopper for that location or department. In some cases, it may disqualify you from the shopping program. Anonymity is critical. Ability to follow instructions. You must be able to accurately follow instructions. You will receive specific instructions on your assignment sheets. Pay attention to detail. During a shop, pay attention to specific details, such as the questions the shopped employee asks and the bank environment. Unbiased reporting. Shoppers must remain unbiased and objective in their evaluations. Just because an employee was nice doesn't necessarily mean he or she has done an excellent job. Most of the employees you will shop have been extensively trained. The program evaluates whether they are using their knowledge in the field and whether the training program has been effective. Complete forms properly and promptly. You will usually get a couple of weeks to complete the shop. Don't wait until the last minute. Complete the forms directly after you finish your shop. If you wait too long to complete the form, you will forget the important details. Effectively summarize shop experience in writing. Make sure you effectively communicate the important details of your shop in writing. This is an important step because it includes information that may not have been included in the questionnaire, such as the manner in which you were greeted or other office variables. Now let's get to the fun part. Assignments. Assignments will be delivered through email, so make sure your provided email does not block the delivery of PDF files. In most circumstances, you will have a couple of weeks to complete the assignment. If you are unable to complete the assignment due to scheduling or other reasons, you must notify JB Communications immediately so the shop can be reassigned. Each assignment will include everything you need to know about your shop, including the location, compensation, and due date. Now let's take a look at a sample assignment. Each assignment will look similar to the sample. The last day of the period is your deadline to submit your shop online. The bank name, address, and phone number are included. You must conduct the shop using this contact information. Pay special attention to the instructions on the assignment. The link to the online form is included at the top of the form. Your compensation amount will be included at the bottom. Shopper submissions and additional resources can be found under Shopper Login at jbcommunications.net. Before the shop, please visit the JBC website to familiarize yourself with the survey form. This will guide you on which details you should look for before you begin your shop. After a few shops, you will be very familiar with the shop criteria. Visiting the bank's website and reviewing the products you will be shopping will also help you familiarize yourself with the products that you are shopping, so you can ask good questions. Be prepared to answer questions about your banking habits. For example, do you use a debit card? Do you use online banking? Do you use checks? Finally, whatever you do, Do not bring the survey form into the shop. This will immediately alert the bank employee that you are a secret shopper and you will be terminated from the program. All shop forms must be completed electronically using the JB Communications Survey website. The required forms will be listed on your assignment sheet. Please complete the survey immediately following the shop. If you wait too long, you will forget important details. You can fill out the forms on your phone so it's easy to pull into a parking lot directly after your shop and fill it out. On the JBC website, click Shopper Login and enter the password. We will give you the password once you respond in an email to this video. Keep all of your notes, literature, business cards, etc. for a period of 6 months following the shop. Sometimes clients are delayed in asking questions and require that material for follow-up inquiries. Compensation for completed shops is issued monthly. Let's take a look at different kinds of shops. We will cover phone shops, new account lobbies, teller lobbies, and teller drive-ups. Phone shops are handled over the phone. The type of phone shop you will be asked to complete will be on your assignment form. This can consist of a new account inquiry or customer service inquiry. Be advised that most banks have caller ID. If you're using a pseudonym while contacting the bank, you can block the caller ID with your smartphone settings or by pressing *67 on your phone before dialing the number. There are 2 types of teller shops, drive-up and lobby. Each shop has its own form, both of which are pretty self-explanatory. One important requirement for shoppers is to put either a name, teller number, or physical description on the form. JBC cannot accept a survey without one of these identifiers. If the teller is not wearing a name tag, shoppers can find their teller number on the transaction receipt. Non-teller lobby shops include interactions with new account lobby representatives. With COVID-19, banks are abiding by new social distancing standards. Our shoppers are expected to abide by all bank standards and be observant of the regulations the bank employees are upholding. Now that we've gone through the shop types, let's review some of the most important information shoppers need to consider while filling out a survey. First, be mindful while answering questions. It may seem easy to answer yes or no, but some of the questions include modifiers, such as if you opened an account. For questions with options yes, no, and not applicable, or NA, please be mindful to read the whole question before answering. Second, be honest. Part of being an unbiased reviewer is the ability to deliver a fair assessment of an employee's performance. If you run into a situation where an employee performs poorly on their shop, be honest in your subjective assessment or your personal feelings towards your experience. Doing so will give them the opportunity to learn from your shop and perform better in the future. Third, be thorough. While writing your final description, you don't need to write a novel. You do, however, need to include important details about your experience, such as the employee's behavior and a description of the exchange. Finally, refrain from including details that could infringe on your anonymity. For example, if the employee mentions that it's their birthday, leave that out. It will identify the date in which you conducted your shop. An example of a poorly written description is one that only focuses on the shopper's behavior, such as, I went in and said hello. I filled out the form and handed it to the teller. She handled my transaction and told me to have a good day. I asked for my balance and she gave it to me. A good example includes details like the employee's greeting, anything he or she might have forgotten to do, and observations about the state of the branch, such as, I was greeted immediately when I walked into the bank. Joseph, the teller, told me that he would be with me shortly. He was very friendly and alert. He handled my transaction quickly and asked me how my day was going. He made me feel like my business was valuable. I noticed that he had an open bag of chips on the counter, but they were mostly out of sight. When I left, he told me about a new credit card they offer and he gave me some information. Overall, I was very happy with the experience and would return. Fourth, knowing the proper way to quote an interest rate is part of bank employee training. If an employee quotes a deposit interest rate, such as for a CD for a savings account, by law they must quote and say annual percentage yield, or APY. If they quote a loan percentage rate, by law they must say annual percentage rate, or APR. In other words, they can't just say the interest rate is 5.51%. For a deposit rate, the correct phrasing would be 5.51% APY, or for a loan rate, 5.51% APR. This is your secret shopper entry code. Make sure to send this code back to shops@jbcommunications.net after you've completed the whole video. While most of the survey questions on the forms are self-explanatory, there are a few we like to review to clear up any lingering questions. On all of the forms, you will be asked, based on your experience, would you bank here? Yes or no? Please be honest with your answer. This response is based upon the experience recorded in the shop. If the bank employee was friendly and attentive to your needs, select yes. If you feel like there is much left to be desired, select no. All of the forms also ask you to rate the employee's overall performance during the shop. This is an extremely important question because it can increase or decrease the employee's overall score. Even if an employee scored perfectly on paper, they may have failed to make you feel comfortable in other ways. Conversely, an employee might have missed some steps on paper but went above and beyond to improve your experience. While completing your written summary of your experience, please include why you gave the employee your subjective rating. Excellent represents an employee that went way above and beyond your expectations. Good represents an employee that met or exceeded your expectations. Average represents an employee that just did their job. Fair represents an employee that needs some improvement. Poor represents a disengaged employee that requires a tremendous amount of improvement. Non-teller lobby shops are new account inquiries or loan inquiries and will require a seated interview with a bank representative. If there are no representatives immediately available, a teller is expected to ask you to wait or make a referral. Sometimes tellers are instructed to give you basic information while you wait. This does not count as the new account lobby shop. In order for it to count, you must complete a seated interview. These are the longest, most involved forms because these employees went through extensive training to ensure they're making good and lasting first impressions. At first glance, you may think these shops will take a long time. However, they typically take no longer than 10 to 15 minutes. The majority of the non-teller lobby questions focus on the interview. These employees are trained to interview the customer before offering solutions. For example, if you, the shopper, are instructed to inquire about a checking account, the employee should ask you questions such as these. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions before discussing options? Do you currently bank with us? Is this a new account or are you moving from another bank? Why are you moving the account? What type of account are you looking for? What type of balance do you typically keep in your checking account? Will you need a debit card? Will you be the only one listed on the account? During your interaction, the employee should try to cross-sell you on other bank products. The employee may offer you services such as a debit card, a credit card, or online banking services. Make sure you indicate the services that were offered to you in addition to the one you inquired about. Closing the sale weighs heavily on the employee's score. They need to attempt to close the sale or ask for your business. This can take the form of a statement or a question. Examples include, all I need is your driver's license to get the account open. Do you have everything with you to open the account? Would you like to add a joint signer on the account? It will only take a few more minutes to open the account. How much would you like to open the account with today? Let's set up an appointment for you to return with your partner. What time will you be returning? Would you like for me to call you to set up an appointment? During COVID-19, our clients are taking extra precautions to protect their employees and customers. Separate COVID-specific instructions will be included in your assignments. For all shops, please wear a mask and be respectful of social distancing standards. Be aware that you may be asked to wait if the location is at capacity. Finally, check the bank's website for information about temporary hours. The more familiar you become with the criteria, the easier the shops will become for you. And remember, relax, be yourself, pay attention to detail, and report on your observations. If you have any questions about your shop or how to complete the forms, please do not hesitate to ask. Thank you and good luck!